Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, listen to me now. Life has a way of whispering before it shouts. It gives you little hints before it opens a new door. And sometimes, if you're paying attention, if you're really in tune with yourself and the world around you, you'll see the signs. You'll feel them. You'll know that something big is about to happen. So if you notice these 8 signs, I want you to get ready because your life is about to change forever. Number 1, you feel uncomfortable in your own skin. You wake up one morning and something feels off. You can't quite put your finger on it, but there's a restlessness in your spirit. The job you used to tolerate now drains you. The conversations you once enjoyed seem empty. The places you once found comfort in no longer feel like home. It's as if something deep inside of you is stirring, whispering, this isn't it. This isn't where you're meant to be. This discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that something is changing. It's a sign that you are outgrowing your current reality. You see, transformation never happens in comfort. Growth never happens in stillness. When life is about to shift in a big way, it starts by making your current reality feel unbearable. That uneasiness you feel is not an obstacle, it's an invitation to step into something new. Think about a snake shedding its skin. The process isn't smooth. It isn't painless. The old skin becomes tight, itchy, uncomfortable. The snake has no choice but to wriggle, to push, to scrape itself against the roughest surfaces just to break free. But once that old skin is gone, the snake isn't just free, it's renewed, bigger, stronger, ready for the next stage of its life. That's exactly what's happening to you. That discomfort is life's way of telling you, you don't fit here anymore. You're being prepared for something greater. Maybe you feel disconnected from the people around you. The conversations that used to flow easily now feel forced. The laughter you used to share with your friends now feels hollow. You try to fit in, but something inside you resists. You feel like an outsider in your own life. This is not a coincidence. When your soul is preparing for a new chapter, the people who belong to your past will start to fade. You might even find yourself pulling away without fully understanding why. Maybe your job feels unbearable. It's not that the work suddenly got harder, it's that you changed. What once felt secure now feels like a cage. You sit at your desk watching the clock, wondering if this is really how you're supposed to spend your life. The more you ignore the feeling, the stronger it gets. Maybe you're questioning everything, your habits, your choices, your routines. Things that once made you happy no longer bring you joy. You find yourself daydreaming about a different life, a different path, a different version of yourself. You may even feel guilty about it, wondering why you're not satisfied when everything seems fine on the surface. But that's the thing about transformation. It doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't care if everything looks good on paper. If your soul is ready to grow, it will push you toward change, whether you're prepared for it or not. You may try to ignore it. You may try to force yourself to stay comfortable. You tell yourself, it's not that bad. I should be grateful. Other people have it worse. And yes, gratitude is powerful, but gratitude should never be an excuse to settle. Just because things could be worse doesn't mean they can't be better. Just because you've survived where you are doesn't mean you're meant to stay there. The truth is, every great transformation starts with discomfort. The caterpillar doesn't just wake up one day and decide to become a butterfly. No, it first experiences a deep, almost unbearable shift. It wraps itself in darkness, dissolves into something unrecognizable, and only then does it emerge with wings. Your discomfort is that cocoon. Right now it may feel like you're trapped, like nothing makes sense, like you're losing yourself, but in reality you are becoming yourself. You are breaking down the version of you that was built to survive so you can step into the version of you that was meant to thrive. But here's the catch. Change is uncomfortable, but staying the same when you've outgrown your circumstances is even more painful. You can ignore the signs for a while. You can try to force yourself to be okay with the way things are. But eventually the discomfort will grow too loud to ignore. Eventually, you'll have to make a choice. Shrink back into what's familiar or step forward into what's possible. And I know it's scary. Change is always scary. Walking away from what's known, even when it no longer fits, is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. But I promise you this, the moment you stop resisting, the moment you surrender to the shift that's already happening within you, you will find a freedom you never knew existed. So what do you do when you feel this discomfort? You listen to it. You lean into it. You stop running from it. You ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to teach me? Where is it leading me? And then you trust it. Trust that you are being guided towards something greater. Trust that your discomfort is not a punishment, but a sign that you are being called to more. Trust that you are not lost. You are simply in transition. This feeling won't last forever. One day soon you'll look back and realize that this discomfort was the very thing that set you free. You'll understand that the pain of growth was nothing compared to the joy of becoming. So if you feel uncomfortable in your own skin, don't run. Don't numb yourself with distractions. Don't force yourself to fit into a life that no longer serves you. Instead, take a deep breath, look yourself in the mirror, and say, I am ready. Because once you embrace the discomfort, once you stop resisting the change that's already happening within you, your life will never be the same again. Number two, you start losing people. At first, it doesn't make sense. The people you were once so close to start drifting away. Conversations that used to last for hours now feel forced. The calls become less frequent. The invites stop coming. You look around and realize that the circle you once had is getting smaller, sometimes disappearing altogether, and it hurts. It doesn't matter how strong you are, how focused you are, how ready you think you are. Losing people is never easy. You start wondering if you did something wrong. You replay old conversations in your head, searching for a moment, a word, a misunderstanding that might explain why things have changed. But deep down, you already know the truth. You didn't lose them, you outgrew them. See, growth is a lonely process. When you start changing, when you start evolving, when you start striving for more, not everyone will understand. Not everyone will be able to come with you. And that's not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of the journey you're on. Think about a rocket launching into space. When it first takes off, it has boosters attached to it, heavy pieces of machinery that help it rise. But at a certain height, those boosters fall away. Not because they were bad, not because they didn't serve a purpose, but because they weren't meant to go where the rocket is going. That's how life works. Some people are only meant to be with you for a season. They serve a purpose, they help you grow, they teach you lessons, but they are not meant to stay forever. When you start elevating, when you start reaching new levels of awareness, purpose, and ambition, certain people will naturally fall away, and that's okay. But here's what makes it hard. Sometimes the people you lose are the ones you thought would always be there. Childhood friends, close family members, people who once celebrated your victories and wiped your tears during the hard times. Losing them feels like losing a part of yourself. And in a way it is, because the version of you that needed them, that related to them, that found comfort in their presence, that version of you no longer exists. You might try to hold on. You might shrink yourself, dim your light, stay the same just to keep them around. You might pretend that nothing has changed, that you're still the same person you were 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 6 months ago. But deep down, you know the truth. You're not the same. You're growing, you're evolving, you're becoming the person you were meant to be. And here's the thing, real connections, real friendships, real love will grow with you. The right people won't feel threatened by your evolution. They won't try to hold you back, guilt you, or make you feel bad for changing. The right people will see your growth and say, I'm proud of you. Keep going. But the wrong people, they'll try to keep you in the past. They'll remind you of who you used to be instead of supporting who you're becoming. They'll act like your success is a betrayal, like your growth is an insult to them. And when that happens, you have a choice. Hold on to the past or step boldly into your future. And listen, letting go doesn't mean you don't love them. It doesn't mean you don't appreciate what they brought into your life. It just means you understand that love doesn't always mean staying. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for them is to walk away. Losing people is not a punishment. It's preparation. The universe, God, life, it's making room, because when the wrong people leave, the right ones arrive. When you release relationships that no longer align with who you're becoming, you create space for those who do. But before that happens, you have to trust the process. You have to let go without fear. You have to believe that the people meant for you, the people who truly see you, who truly understand you, who truly align with your spirit, will find you. It won't happen overnight. There will be lonely moments. There will be nights where you miss the past, or you wonder if growth is worth the isolation. But I promise you, one day you'll look around and realize that every person in your life belongs there, that your circle, though smaller, is filled with people who inspire you, uplift you, and walk beside you in purpose. So if you're losing people, don't fight it. Don't chase. Don't beg anyone to stay. Instead, say thank you. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for being part of my journey. And then move forward. Because if you're losing people, it means you're growing. And if you're growing, your life is about to change forever. Number 3, you feel a deep urge to do something different. Something inside of you is stirring. You can't explain it, but you feel it. A quiet voice, a persistent nudge, a feeling in your gut that won't go away. It's telling you that where you are isn't where you're meant to stay. It's whispering that you were made for more. At first, you try to ignore it. You tell yourself, I should be grateful. My life is fine. Everything is okay. But that voice doesn't care about okay. It doesn't care about comfort. It doesn't care about what's easy or predictable. That voice is your soul, your destiny, your higher self, calling you to step into something greater. And once it starts speaking to you, it won't stop. You wake up in the morning, and for the first time, routine doesn't feel right. The job you once tolerated now feels suffocating. The conversations you used to engage in feel pointless. You start looking at the world differently, seeing possibilities where you never saw them before, questioning things you used to accept without thought. You may not even know what you're being called to do yet. Maybe it's an urge to move to a new city, to start a new career, to walk away from something that no longer fulfills you. Maybe it's a dream you've buried for years, suddenly resurfacing, demanding your attention. Maybe it's something as simple as wanting to change your habits, your mindset, your way of living. Whatever it is, that urge is real. And it's not random. You see, every person on this earth was created with a purpose, with a calling, with something only they can do. And when it's time to step into that calling, life will start nudging you. That restlessness, that dissatisfaction, that's not an accident. That's a message that says you were meant for more. It's time to move. But here's where most people get stuck. They feel the urge, but they're afraid to follow it. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of leaving behind what's familiar. And I get it. Change is terrifying. Walking away from what's safe, what's predictable, what's comfortable, it's one of the hardest things you'll ever do. But let me ask you this. What's scarier, stepping into the unknown or staying in a life that no longer fulfills you? What's worse, taking a risk and failing, or looking back years from now and realizing you never even tried? See, when you ignore that calling, when you silence that urge to do something different, life doesn't get easier, it gets harder. Because nothing is more painful than living a life that doesn't align with who you truly are. Nothing is more exhausting than pretending to be okay with a reality that no longer fits you. That's why so many people walk around feeling empty, lost, disconnected, not because they're unlucky, not because they're incapable, but because they ignored the signs. They felt the urge to change, but they let fear stop them. They let excuses hold them back. Don't let that be you. If you feel a deep urge to do something different, trust it, honor it, explore it. Maybe it's time to step into a new career. Maybe it's time to start that business, write that book, take that leap of faith. Maybe it's time to cut ties with the past, to move to that city you've been dreaming about, to surround yourself with people who inspire you. Maybe it's time to stop settling, stop waiting, stop making excuses. The urge you feel is not random. It's not a mistake. It's your future calling you forward. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, people will question you. Yes, you will have moments of doubt, but what if, just what if, everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of that fear? What if that deep urge inside of you is proof that you're already on the right path? What if life isn't trying to scare you but prepare you? Because here's the truth. The moment you stop ignoring that calling, the moment you stop running from that feeling, the moment you finally decide to listen, that's the moment your life will change forever. Number 4, you keep seeing repeating numbers or strange coincidences. You look at the clock, 11 dot, you check your phone, 2:22, a receipt from the store, $33.33, a random license plate, 777. At first you brush it off. That's weird, you think, but then it keeps happening over and over, and not just numbers, songs with lyrics that seem to speak directly to your soul, conversations with strangers that feel strangely familiar, opportunities falling into place in ways that seem too perfect to be a coincidence. It's as if the universe is trying to tell you something, and you know what? It is. You see, when your life is about to change, when you're on the verge of something big, the universe, God, your higher self, whatever you believe in, start sending you signs, not in some random, meaningless way, but in ways that are specific to you. Maybe you keep seeing the same number pattern. Maybe you hear the same phrase everywhere you go. Maybe you have a dream so vivid it feels more like a message than a memory. These are not accidents. These are confirmations. Confirmations that you are on the right path, that you are being guided, supported, and prepared for what's coming next. But here's the thing, most people ignore the signs. They chalk it up to coincidence. They brush it off as their imagination. They dismiss it, even when something deep inside of them knows better. Don't make that mistake. When you start seeing repeating numbers or strange coincidences, pay attention, pause, listen, ask yourself, what is life trying to tell me? Because the answers are already there. Maybe you keep seeing 1111A, a sign that a new beginning is unfolding. Maybe 444 keeps showing up, a reminder that you are protected even in times of uncertainty. Maybe you keep running into people who introduce you to ideas, places, or opportunities that align with your dreams. None of it is random. It's alignment. It means your energy is shifting. It means your thoughts, your actions, your emotions are lining up with something greater than yourself. It means you are being prepared for change, whether you realize it or not. And yes, it can feel surreal. When life starts speaking to you like this, it's easy to doubt it. It's easy to tell yourself you're imagining things. But deep down, you know that things are happening for a reason. You know that something bigger is at play. You know that you are being guided towards something important, something meant for you. But here's the question. Are you willing to listen? Because signs don't mean anything if you ignore them. Repeating numbers don't matter if you refuse to take action. Coincidences won't change your life unless you trust that they're leading you somewhere. So when you see those signs, when life starts nudging you, don't just notice them, follow them. If you feel called to make a change, do it. If an opportunity keeps showing up, take it. If life keeps whispering the same message to you over and over again, listen, because if you keep seeing repeating numbers, if strange coincidences keep happening, it means you are standing at the edge of something new. It means you are being guided toward the next chapter of your life. And if you trust the process, if you trust yourself, your life will never be the same again. Number 5, your energy shifts. You can't tolerate what you used to. One day you wake up and things just don't feel the same. The conversations you used to enjoy now drain you. The places you used to go no longer excite you. The habits you once indulged in start feeling empty. The things you once tolerated, negativity, drama, mindless distractions, you simply can't anymore. It's not that you've suddenly become cold or distant. It's not that you think you're better than anyone else. It's that your energy has shifted. Your spirit has outgrown what no longer serves you. And that's the first sign that your life is about to change forever. See, when you start evolving, when you start stepping into a higher version of yourself, your energy starts rejecting anything that isn't in alignment with your growth. The things that once felt comfortable start to feel off. The people who used to be fun to be around start to feel draining. The habits that once felt normal now feel destructive. And at first, it can be confusing. You wonder, why do I feel this way? Why do I suddenly not enjoy the things I used to? You might even try to force yourself back into old routines, back into old friendships, back into old ways of thinking. But deep down, you know, there's no going back. Because once your energy shifts, once your awareness expands, you can't unsee what you've seen. You can't pretend to be okay with negativity when you felt the peace of being surrounded by positivity. You can't sit in meaningless conversations when your soul craves deeper connections. You can't waste time on things that drain you when you know your purpose requires your full focus. It's not that you're losing interest in life, it's that you're gaining clarity. Clarity on what truly matters. Clarity on where your energy should go. Clarity on who belongs in your life and who doesn't. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Some people won't understand. Some will take it personally. Some will accuse you of being different, distant, or even difficult. But that's okay. Let them think what they want. Because this is not about them, it's about you. This is about protecting your peace. This is about valuing your time. This is about making sure that everything and everyone in your life is adding to you, not taking away from you. And if that means letting go of old habits, do it. If that means distancing yourself from certain people, do it. If that means making changes that others don't understand, do it. Because your energy is sacred, your focus is powerful, and when your spirit starts rejecting what no longer serves you, that's not a loss. That's a sign that you're stepping into a new season, a sign that you're leveling up, a sign that you're preparing for something greater. So don't fight it. Don't cling to what you've outgrown. Don't lower your energy just to fit into spaces you've already outgrown. Honor your growth, protect your energy, and trust that what's waiting for you on the other side of this shift is far greater than anything you're leaving behind. Number 6, challenges start piling up. Everything was going fine, smooth, steady, predictable. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, life starts hitting you from every angle. One problem after another. One setback turns into 2, then 3, then 4. The things you once handled with ease now feel overwhelming. The weight of responsibility gets heavier. The struggles become relentless. You start wondering, why is this happening? Why now? And the answer is simple, because your life is about to change forever. See, most people think challenges are a sign that something is wrong, that maybe they're making the wrong moves, heading in the wrong direction. But the truth is, challenges are often a sign that you're on the verge of something big. Because transformation is never easy, growth is never comfortable. Before life gives you something greater, it will test you to see if you're ready for it. Think about it. Every great success story is built on struggle. Every person who ever achieved something meaningful had to go through a season of trials, of setbacks, of obstacles that felt impossible to overcome. Because pressure creates diamonds, resistance builds strength, fire refines gold. You are being prepared. If everything was easy, you wouldn't grow. If life never tested you, you wouldn't develop the strength, the wisdom, the resilience you need to handle the next level. Because the truth is, the version of you that exists right now cannot handle what's coming. The success, the blessings, the opportunities, they require a stronger, wiser, more disciplined version of you, and the only way to become that person is to go through the fire. So when challenges start piling up, don't panic. Don't break down. Don't start believing the lie that life is against you. Life isn't breaking you, it's building you. That struggle, it's shaping you. That setback is setting you up for something greater. That frustration is teaching you patience, endurance, and the ability to push through even when things don't go your way. And here's what most people don't realize: how you respond to these challenges determines everything. Some people let challenges defeat them. They give up when things get hard. They see struggle as a sign to quit. But the people who change their lives, the people who reach their full potential, are the ones who see challenges for what they really are: tests. Life is asking you, how bad do you want it? Are you willing to fight for it? Are you ready to step into the version of yourself that can handle what's coming? So don't run from the struggle. Don't shrink under the pressure. Stand tall, keep moving, keep pushing forward, even when it feels like everything is working against you. Because when life starts testing you like this, when the challenges start piling up, it's not a sign that you should stop. It's a sign that you're closer than ever. Your breakthrough is near. Your transformation is happening. Your life is about to change forever. And if you refuse to quit, if you refuse to let these challenges break you, you will look back one day and realize that every single obstacle was preparing you for the greatness that was waiting on the other side. Number 7, you feel a strong sense of faith and trust. There was a time when uncertainty scared you, when the unknown felt like a dark, endless road with no clear direction, when you needed a plan, a guarantee, a step-by-step guide before you could even think about making a move. But something has shifted. Now, even though you don't have all the answers, you feel a strange sense of peace. Even though you can't see the whole path ahead, you trust that it's leading you somewhere good. Even though life may not be making perfect sense right now, something deep inside of you knows everything is happening the way it's supposed to. That's faith. That's trust. And it's one of the biggest signs that your life is about to change forever. Because faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about believing in something greater than what you can see. It's about knowing that every challenge, every delay, every closed door is part of the bigger picture. It's about trusting that even when things aren't going your way, they're still working in your favor. And here's the thing. This kind of faith doesn't just show up out of nowhere. It comes after struggle. It comes after seasons of doubt, after times when you felt lost, after moments when you thought things would never get better. But through it all, you kept going. You kept pushing forward. And somewhere along the way, you realized that life has never failed you. You made it through situations you thought you wouldn't survive. You overcame battles you never thought you'd win. You watched things fall apart, only to realize later that they were actually falling into place. So now, when uncertainty comes, you don't panic, you trust. When things don't go as planned, you don't break down, you move. When the path ahead isn't clear, you don't stop, you move forward anyway. And that right there, that's power. That's transformation. That's the moment when you stop living in fear and start walking in purpose. Because once you have faith, once you trust the process, nothing can shake you. No setback, no delay, no challenge can take away what's meant for you. See, most people let doubt stop them. They wait for certainty before they take action. They wait for proof before they believe. But the ones who change their lives, the ones who step into something greater, they move before the signs appear. They walk before they see the destination. They believe before they have proof. And because of that, doors open for them. Opportunities align for them. Things fall into place in ways they never could have planned. So if you feel that sense of faith rising up inside of you, if you feel that deep knowing that everything is working out, even if you can't see how, trust it, because that feeling is not random. That feeling is your confirmation. That feeling is telling you that you are right where you need to be, that you are stepping into something greater, that your life is about to change in ways you never imagined. So keep believing, keep trusting, keep moving forward, because the best is yet to come. Number 8, you're finally ready to let go of the past. There was a time when the past had a grip on you, when memories played on repeat in your mind, when regrets kept you up at night, when pain from old wounds followed you into every new chapter. Maybe it was a mistake you made that you just couldn't forgive yourself for. Maybe it was a relationship that ended, but the hurt still lingered. Maybe it was a dream that didn't work out and you kept wondering, what if? For the longest time you held on, not because you wanted to, but because you didn't know how to let go. Because a part of you thought that if you replayed the past enough times, you could somehow change it. But now something is different. You don't want to live there anymore. You don't want to carry the weight of old pain, old mistakes, old disappointments. You don't want to keep looking back at a door that's already closed when new doors are waiting to open. You're tired of reliving what already happened. You're tired of holding on to people who let go of you a long time ago. You're tired of allowing your past to steal your present. And that feeling, that realization, that's your breakthrough. That's the moment everything shifts. Because when you finally decide to let go of the past, you make room for the future. You see, life can't give you new blessings if your hands are still full of yesterday's burden. You can't step into the next chapter if you're still rereading the last one. You can't receive what's meant for you if you're still holding on to what was never meant to stay. And letting go doesn't mean you're erasing the past. It doesn't mean you're pretending it didn't happen. It means you're making peace with it. It means you're taking the lessons, the wisdom, the strength you gained and leaving everything else behind. It means you're no longer allowing what was to control what will be. And yes, it's hard. Yes, it's painful. Yes, there will be moments when you're tempted to look back, but here's what you have to ask yourself. Is holding on to the past worth sacrificing my future? Because the truth is, the past is already gone. No amount of regret, no amount of guilt, no amount of wishing things had been different can change it. But the future, that's still in your hands. That's still waiting for you. That's still full of possibility, of opportunity, of things you can actually do something about. So if you feel ready, truly ready to let go, trust that feeling, forgive yourself, forgive others, release the bitterness, the resentment, the pain, close the chapter with gratitude for what it taught you, and then turn the page. Because when you finally let go of the past, you free yourself. You open yourself up to new beginnings, new blessings, new opportunities. You step into the life that was always meant for you. And once you do that, once you truly let go, your life will never be the same again. If you've been feeling these things, if you've noticed these signs, don't be afraid. Don't resist it. Lean into it. Change is not your enemy. Growth is not your enemy. You were never meant to stay the same. You were meant to evolve. So when life starts shifting, when things start feeling different, when doors start closing, don't panic. Don't fight it. Just smile. Take a deep breath and whisper to yourself, I'm ready, because your life is about to change forever.